Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to be talking about the Illuminatium again and showing you where this is actually a cult and where they are really no different than Scientology. They even have their own book that I had mentioned yesterday in the video on them, the First Testament of the Illuminati, which I'll be getting to later in this video. I'll actually be showing you the PDF and going through what each chapter's title is, which I'll be going into more detail on the book itself in a future video. But what you see before you is from their website. This is actually another link that was in the website that I showed you yesterday. But one thing you will notice, read it in bold letters: freedom is an idol of the human species. This is the dangerous type of thinking that these people want to try and act like is so enlightened. And one thing you will notice is down here at this, you will see, are you free to murder? Are you free to steal? Are others free to murder and steal from you? Why is it only murder and theft that is on their mind? Why would this be? Because I have murdered the exact number of people that I want to, and that number is 0. I have stolen the exact amount of times that I would want to. That number is 0. Why do they think freedom in general is an idol of the human species and all they go to is murder and theft? Is that the only type of freedom that they think exists? Is the freedom to murder and steal? That you don't have any other freedom? They want to take away your freedom is what it comes down to. They're trying to act like you have to give up some freedoms in order to have some utopian society. No, if you give up your freedom, you're a slave. This is the danger of this type of cult-like thinking. But another thing that had irked me, and all of this irks me to no end, but here is something else that I find laughably absurd, because you'll notice right at the top, things that cost nothing are worth nothing. I disagree with that, because there is a large number of videos on YouTube, this platform that I am on right now, that have videos that don't cost you anything to watch. But that is not saying that the content that they contain is worth nothing. There are ways that you can contribute to a channel and so forth. I don't have my Patreon set up yet, but I'm going to in the near future. I want to have it set up when I can fully have benefits for those that would contribute. The thing is, to say that something doesn't have a value unless there is a cost to it is a logical fallacy. What they go off on with money is a tradable currency. Yes, it is the aspect. Before we had paper money, it was the barter system. That I'll trade you so many, like, cattle for whatnot. It was a type of exchange of, I'll give you this for this. Money, paper money, has really made more of an ease of bartering. And as a society, we have largely gotten away from the haggling on a price for something, because when you go to a grocery store or a convenience store, you can't really, you can try, but you won't get very far, the aspect of haggling with somebody over the price. No, the store or the store of wherever you're going sets the price that they want for a particular item, and if you don't want to pay that price, you just don't get that item at that store. It's not a matter of being able to haggle and so forth to try and get an item for a lesser amount. That's just not the way it works anymore in our society. But one of the things that they talk about, the words of their testament have some value because of trees that have to be cut down for paper, or workers who must create the design and layout. Horseshit. I understand, and I think all of you understand very well the aspect of labor and so forth with making a product. However, that does not mean that just because you put a price tag on something that it's worth the price tag you put on it. There are a lot of things, I'm sure you can have things popping in your mind right now that the price tag that is on it, you may question whether it's actually worth what the price is. And there is a price difference in the aspect of wholesale versus retail, because a lot of times when you're buying something wholesale, you're buying it in bulk. You're buying either dozens, hundreds, or thousands of the same product because you're looking to resell them. And because of that, because of the buying in bulk, you wouldn't be doing it as an individual. That would be done more as a business, that you're buying on bulk in order to resell. That is why wholesale distributors would be selling things at a lower price to somebody that is buying them for a business purpose, because the business itself would have to make money because of overhead that they would have. But that is all business related, and the only obligation a business has is to make a profit. Let's be clear, because if a business is not making a profit, it wouldn't be able to afford to pay its employees. It wouldn't be able to stay in business. So this is how business works. It's not a matter of something that is a higher price amount is a better item. That is bullshit. There are a lot of things in life that have a jacked up price, not because they're worth more, but because of a name that they have attached to it, be it either Nike, Reebok, whatnot, a brand name that is an established name that people go with, even be it a more computer related, IBM, Dell. When you have a brand type of name, it typically has a higher price than something that is not a brand name. But this is saying nothing for the aspect of that which has no cost, has no worth. Bullshit. And I think there would be a ton of YouTube videos and creators of YouTube videos that have things on their channels, quote unquote, for free, that would also be screaming bullshit at that. But then there is this little bit of bullshit that is about gun control. And it does say, while the Illuminati endeavors to develop a harmonious society where the need for guns is eradicated, our organization has no interest in disarming a population that requires weapons to defend against its harm or demise. In a perfect world, there would be no need for guns. At this time, we do not live in a perfect world. No shit. And the utopian type of thing is not going to happen. Because what I have highlighted, I really want to draw that to your attention because that is blatantly false. The no other creature on earth, or it says of earth, behaves in this way, slaughtering members of its own kind for reasons that matter nothing in 10, 100, or 1,000 years. Bullshit! Look at all the animals in nature. They slaughter other members either of their own kind or of another kind to survive. And those things won't matter to other animals 10 years, 100 years, or 1,000 years from now. But that doesn't mean that the animals that are killing other animals to survive don't have a need or see a need in their own animal mind to do so now. The reason that we have violence and so forth in our world is people want to try and control others, or they don't like how things are going for them, so they want to try and improve their life by cutting into or attacking somebody else that they would deem as weaker. The thing is, our human culture also has issues of not so much with the general population. There is a racist element in our culture, but it is remarkably low compared to how it has been. Even back when I was a kid, back in the 70s, racism was a lot more prevalent back in the 70s than it is right now. A hell of a lot more. But society was not so much of fucking pussies either. Back when I was a kid, a very popular television show that would not be able to survive today because of the pussification of the general masses that get butthurt over anything that isn't to their fucking liking, is a sitcom that addressed some very serious social issues called All in the Family. Yes, Archie Bunker was the blatant racist. Carol O'Connor, who played Archie Bunker, wasn't. Just like, I think it's Sherman Hemsley that played George Jefferson, he also wasn't racist. I think him and Carol O'Connor were actually friends. The thing is, the show All in the Family led to the spin-off of The Jeffersons, both of which were poking fun at racism and racists and showing the absurdity of it. The weak pussy bastards in our culture that want to cancel anyone that isn't goose stepping as they think should be couldn't handle a show like that. They would be flipping out at the idea of an Archie Bunker. But imagine, for everyone that is my age or older, I don't think we would be where we're at socially if it wouldn't have been for shows like All in the Family or The Jeffersons. Because those television shows, while they may not matter, in a sense, 100 years or 1,000 years from now, they addressed some very serious issues at the time. They brought an awareness to issues that you wouldn't have had otherwise. This idea that you have to ban something just because there are those that don't like it, that's horseshit. That shows a weak mind, not one that is interested in trying to learn and grow. But there is a great deal that I could go off on with all of this. But I also want to go back to this bit of bullshit that they have with their benefits of joining, because when I was going through this and showing my girlfriend, I did actually read more of them, like number 4, a 1-month holiday, and she had pointed out, isn't it people over in Europe that use the term of a holiday? Over in the United States, that is true. It's termed more vacation. And I think holiday is a more European type of term. So that can give you an idea of basically whoever wrote this, where they could be from. But fully paid to your dream tourist destination. Note this, where you have all, one word, all, ways, separate word, not always as one word, they have it as all and ways, dreamt to visit. These people do not even know a simple thing like always is not 2 words. And down here, this is obviously supposed to be various. And they have VER, not VAR. The thing is, these other pages, I haven't found the obvious spelling mistakes that are on that one. But one of the things I wanted to point out, because it is really false, and it is something that I have seen from the religious, and yet this idea of faith is belief in something that cannot be proven. Okay, fine. Most religious belief is based on information received from an outside source that cannot be verified, sometimes known as heresy, hearsay. Millions will follow the commandments of a religious text without ever having spoken to its author, or billions will believe in a deity because of miracles they were told of by someone who wasn't even present or alive at the time. But denouncing faith is the true folly. Faith is not limited to religious believers. While even most devout pontiff can't provide irrefutable evidence of God's existence, and this is where we get to the heart of this. Neither can the scientist who claims that no deities resides in the universe. Both rely on their own faith to explain things they will never understand. Bullshit. Saying you do not believe in a God is not saying that there is no God. It is saying I see no evidence to believe the claim that one does. It is like in a courtroom where you can say the person is guilty by preponderance of the evidence, or that you find not guilty because the evidence is not there sufficient to convict. In the aspect of a God existing, I can honestly say I do not see enough evidence to convince me that it is warranted to convict the God of existing. The religious have failed to provide sufficient evidence to prove their case. So I have to find not guilty of existing for the God. It doesn't mean I'm saying one doesn't exist. It is saying I see no evidence to believe one does. There is no faith needed. There is no position that you could hold that you couldn't justify with faith. Just because you can have faith in something, a racist can have faith in their racism. It does not make their racism valid. A pedophile can have faith in their pedophilia. It does not make that valid. Faith is bullshit. I am not just an atheist, I am an epistivist, which means I see no value in faith, because faith doesn't get you anywhere. But whoever wrote this horse shit was a theist, because this ignorant shit is ignorant shit that I've heard from Christians that want to try and shift the goalposts or act like both positions require faith, so you're both equally as stupid. No. It takes no faith to say, I don't believe you. There's no faith needed in that. It is simply saying, I don't believe you. The thing is, there is so much in all of this that I could go off on. But what I really want to show you is when it comes to this shit of, and you saw this in the first video, the first testament of the Illuminati, I'll show you where you can get this. What you would have to do is type into Google what I did over here of the First Testament of the Illuminati PDF. And you'll see these others that will basically try to have it that you have to buy this shit. You don't. I'll show you where you can get it for free. I saw all of these and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this untitled. What it does when you click on that, I'll show you this just so you can see this. This is what, oh, okay, it's not showing you. What it does is it pops up where you can save this as a PDF on your computer. And I can tell you what will happen if you save that on your computer as a PDF is I opened it over here. So what we have, and I can even try to, yeah, that should be good as far as increasing the size of it, but you can see that there is, this will go through every page of this, but I want to go through what they have as chapter titles and so forth that we see. I'm not going to totally, other than telling you what these are, I'm not really going to give this a total breakdown as of right now. I will in a future video. I'll go into different sections of this and break it down. But we start off with the age of Illuminatium, and then the mark of the Illuminati, the White Room, what is Illuminus, methods of mind control. And I'm going to, before I end this, I'm going to go back to that and show you where what they say in here is absolute horseshit when it comes to mind control. Is there an Illuminati membership fee? How are you watched? What is the Illuminati talisman? I can actually show you that. There is the Illuminati talisman. That what's in red. It's horseshit. But the need for hardships. Why I'm not rich. The secret of power. The source of the Illuminati's wealth. The future of this planet. Does the Illuminati worship Satan or God? The God conundrum. Must I sacrifice a human or animal to join? How to join the Illuminati? What are the Illuminati's membership levels? A beacon for light. How can I show loyalty to the Illuminati's? Finding the purpose. How do I contact the Illuminati? And that apparently is all that there is as far as chapters. But I do want to show you what they have, and I remember the page number because I looked this up before starting this video, is this aspect of methods of mind control. I wanted to draw this to your attention because anybody that has done any type of looking into things like MK Ultra, which was a conspiracy theory back when it had been mentioned years ago, but it's been proven that it was quite real. It was mind control experiments being done by the U.S. government, not just on the military, but the military was one of the early targets. Soldiers. But what they have here is horse shit. Your mind is being controlled at this moment, but you haven't been trained. You've been trained to ignore it. There is no reason to fear for society to function in a peaceful order. Its people must be guided, even if their incomprehension would incline them to. This is to deny the very guidance that ensures their safety and survival. Mind control is an inaccurate term. The mind cannot be truly controlled due to the free will of the subconscious that gives the power of choice to every human. That is pure bullshit. The aspect of mind control, when it is done to somebody like a young child, what can be done by severe abuse can cause the mind to fragment, creating what is termed an alter personality. It is a method of mind control that requires breaking the person's mind and putting them through, basically torturing somebody to the point where their mind snaps. This is very fucking real. It can be done. One could argue that basic training is a type of mind control, Because when you're in basic, and I know this because I went through basic, when you're in basic training, you are cut off from the rest of the world. You have no contact with anyone. You have no contact with the news. The only thing you know is what the drill sergeant or drill sergeants that you have tell you. You are in a bay, completely separated from the rest of the world. You have no contact with anyone, except for maybe once a week you get to call home for a little bit. The thing is, that is a type of mind control. You are completely cut off from everyone. The thing is, there are very clear ways and techniques of mind control that have worked and do work. And the idea of free will has no meaning. You can circumvent free will with the various techniques that have been utilized in various forms of torture and isolation. So the idea that there is no such thing as mind control is a flat out lie. I will be going into more on this in a future video, but I wanted to point out just that part of this is absolute horseshit. The feeling I get regarding this Illuminatium is that it is no different than the Scientology. That it ultimately would be another form of Scientology. This is something, you can look into all of this shit that I have, or what I would say is I'll be doing other videos probably tomorrow or so on more of this, where I'll be breaking down. I don't know if I'm going to totally go through this whole stupid book. You can let me know in the comments section if you would like me to, or if there are specific chapters you would like me to focus on and break down. But instead of taking the long approach, there. This can give you, let you see what the different chapters are, and if you would like me to cover something in more depth, or even read to you an entire chapter, because they're not that long, like the aspect, if you would want, like the need for hardships, I could probably read all of that, since it's, as you can see, it's very short. There's not... The one saving grace with this, as compared to religious text, is it's not as dry. There is just as much bullshit, but you don't have the verse 1, verse 2, and all that happy shit. But this is something that I'll go into more of this in a future video or videos. I'm also going to be doing an interview with a friend of mine that is a theistic Satanist on the aspect, because I had seen in other things related to this Illuminatium where they mentioned the aspect of ritual. I don't know shit about ritual, but the friend of mine that is a theistic Satanist, he knows all about ritual. And I'll be doing a video and conversation with him regarding ritual, Satanism, and even bringing in parts of this, because he'll probably watch this video as well, because he typically does watch the videos that I do, so he's abreast of the information that I've put out. But it is something that I would like to get his take on, like the aspect of ritual and some of the ideas that they would have here of like the secret of power and so forth, from the aspect of what would a theistic Satanist say. Because people do have the idea that the Illuminati is some kind of satanic or nefarious organization, and that's part of what I'm going to be looking into. I do not believe for 1 second that whatever this cult is that I'm looking at in these videos, that it has fuck all to do with the Illuminati from the Middle Ages, from the ancient world. I don't think it does. I think this cult is trying to latch onto the Illuminati, be it with the Rothschilds or whatnot, and I can even get into that conspiracy theory, but I do not believe that this cult has fuck all to do with what would have been the Illuminati from the ancient world. I think they would be trying to ride the coattails of it, and would be wanting to jump on the bandwagon of basically a utopian type of mindset, especially with the young people today, that this cancel culture and so forth, that want to wipe out anything that doesn't fit within their paradigm. It is an ignorant form of control. And the reason people want to ban anything that isn't in line with their paradigm is they're actually scared that their position is so weak that it can't handle criticism from others or even close examination. So they want any dissenting view automatically shut down. It is the position of the coward. And it is something that I want to draw people's attention to and make sure that this is something that we all know and are aware of. Because those that want to suck you into their bullshit, they don't want you to see the truth. And that is what I am all about, is exposing these people for what they are. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.